Hey, this your boy J Ray back with another video, back with another live stream, and today is that Tech Tuesday stream where I talk about tech that has to deal with anything from movies to phones to computers to anything, like I said, anything that involves tech and deals with tech. So thank you for joining. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please hit that like button, pound that subscribe button, help me reach my goal of getting 100 subscribers. I really appreciate it, as always. Now, let me do this real fast while I'm thinking of it. And there we go. I want to put that up there. And I want to put this over here. And then I want to see this. Oh, I need to bring this over a little bit. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry about this. There we go. All right. Hey, AA, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I pray that you're having a great day today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, first thing out the box that I really want to talk about is Amazon released a new Alexa device. Now, one of the things that, oh yeah, definitely, AA, yeah, guys, if you like mobile gaming and you like watching mobile gaming and everything, check out AA on his channel. It's AA Vainglory at YouTube.com, and reach out there and help him reach his goal of 170 subscribers. Okay, now, one of the things that I want to talk about that I really want to get started, Amazon released a new product today. That new product was the Amazon, basically what it is it sits on the end of your counter. It has Alexa built into it, and it's got a little touch screen on it too. So that way you can video conference call, you can order stuff, you can look at stuff online and tell Alexa to order it for you and stuff like that, which is really awesome. One of the things that I don't know, okay, like here's my thing about the Amazon device. Okay, it sits on your counter, so if you have it in your kitchen or you have it in your bedroom on a nightstand or something, and somebody video calls you, it's not like a tablet or like a phone where I can take my phone and I can hold it right here and just chat face to face. It's not like that, or I'm sitting here and I got my tablet and I got it like this and I'm chatting face to face. That's not it at all. It's where the other person, not only does the other person have to have an Amazon device or an Amazon phone or anything, how can I say this? It may not be compatible with every chat service. You have to have like a compatible security camera, or you have to have a compatible device that will work with the chat. But at the same time, when I video chat, 9 times out of 10 when I video chat, it's on a tablet or it's on a phone. I don't understand why I need a device that sits on a counter or whatever to help me video chat. One of the other things that I can see is like if you're following a recipe, that's really cool to have Alexa right there and have the screen right there where she pulls up the video or whatever, or pulls up the recipe, and it's right there. That's cool. But at the same time, you can do that. You kind of have that with a tablet, where you can set your tablet up, whether it be a Surface, an iPad, a Samsung, Google, whatever tablet you're using. You can set it up right there and use it. So I'm trying to figure out who this product is meant for that Amazon's putting out. I mean, I guess I could see it if you was really into the Amazon ecosystem, like if you're really deep into the Amazon ecosystem. But I don't I don't really see, now like the Amazon speaker, that they released that has Alexa built into it. That one's really, really cool. Because number one, it's small, it's kind of out of the way. You can play music through it. It was decent. It got plenty loud and stuff like that. You know, that I could understand, but this other one, it's like, okay, they wind it and put a touch screen in it. So I'm not really understanding who this is made for. I'm not understanding where uh, Amazon's thought process is in this. So I don't know. I mean, if it's Die Hard, if it's wow, if it's Die Hard uh Amazon users, I could see that. If you really like Amazon, if you're into Amazon, then yeah, I can really see that. You know, let's see. Now, rumor has it that Apple's going to be coming out with a speaker that's going to have Siri built into it, and then it's going to look like a Mac Pro, basically. I mean, that's cool, but see, here's where I get into, because I use Siri, I like Siri, but if you're gonna put Siri in a speaker like the Google Home and like the Amazon Echo and stuff, then Siri does need to be more functional. Like when I ask Siri, "Hey, read me today's top headlines," and she can't do it, you know, or hey, I need to order more. I need go to Amazon and order the toilet tissue that I like, or order the cleaning supplies that I like, or the snacks that I like, or whatever. She can't do that. Alexa can. Now granted, Google Now can't order anything off of Amazon, but that's where I feel that I would really, really like to see these companies come together and just come out with like one super, super assistant, you know, like call her Rosie or something, to where, just like off the Jetsons, where you ask it to do something. Okay, I need to pick up some milk, uh, put on my grocery list, I need to pick up some milk, order those, order the shampoo that I like, and order the potato chips that I like, and give me today's headlines. Rosie would be able to go out there and just do all of that, to where I don't have to have Google Assistant or Siri or Amazon Alexa or whatever else there is. It's one assistant, you know. And that kind of frustrates me, I know we've talked about it several times on this channel, but that frustrates me, because it's like this assistant is really good at doing this. Well, this assistant is really good at doing this. Well, this assistant over here is really great at doing this. But they can't all do the same thing, which doesn't make sense. Also, speaking of Amazon, looks like Amazon's streaming app is going to be coming to the Apple TV, which I am happy about, because that is the device that I use the most to watch my TV on. There is nothing wrong with the Amazon Fire Stick that I have. I do enjoy the Amazon Fire Stick. One of the downfalls of the Amazon Fire Stick is the fact that you cannot control the volume remote with the Amazon Fire remote, which I think is just, I mean, come on, man. You could have put a RF in there. I'm just saying, you could have put a RF in there, and you could have had it to where it controlled my TV, so that way I wouldn't have to switch back and forth. I mean, Alexa's cool. Alexa's cool and everything, but Apple TV, I got one remote to control them all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that to me is awesome. That's a big benefit. Let's see. Oh man, there really wasn't that. there really wasn't just a whole bunch in tech news that was just going on today. That I've seen that just other than, and this is something I really this is the meat and bones of the stream. This is really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about everything that we can get into. But one of the things I want to talk about, and I'm going to give you all an update real quick, is I went and watched Guardians of the Galaxy last Saturday. 2 thumbs up. It was awesome. If you have not watched Guardians of the Galaxy, and they are not paying me to say this, this is just my opinion, just how I feel, it was really, really good. But Google has come out with another operating system, and it's not Android. Hold on 1 minute, and I will tell you what it is. I think it's called Fuchsia. Let's see. Let me find it. Oh, I know what I need to do. Hold on 1 minute, because I got it here somewhere. I think, there we go. I had to click on the Google because there's been so much. No. Okay. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, wait, was that it? No. Oh, yep. Here it is. Google Fuchsia OS. And the, let's see. Fuchsia. Oh, and codename Armadillo. So, Google, okay, here's the thing. So, Google's got Android, right? And there's some problems in Android. Number one, most app developers develop for iOS before they do Android. Also, Google has a little bit of problem with fragmentation because there's so many phones out there that use Android, but every phone is different. Every phone has different specs, different screen sizes, different battery requirements, different memory, different RAM, different everything, right? So Google has fragmentation. So Google cannot be like, okay, we're going to release this to everything, because undoubtedly, there's going to be some phones that cannot update to the latest and greatest. Now, if there's a major security, and I mean major security flaw, then yeah, Google will send out an update. But, that's kind of few and far between. So I think with Google being the size that it is, I think Google's recognizing that, yes, we do have an issue with fragmentation. Yes, we do have an issue with updating our software. Yes, we do have an issue with supporting our software up to a certain extent, supporting our hardware up to a certain extent. So Fuchsia, with them doing this, I think this may be Google's tightening the reins, so to speak. That Google's like, okay, you know what? We've had this phone. We've been working on it and everything. We've been working on this operating system. We're tired of everybody complaining because they're not getting updates, because they're held up by the carriers, because they're held up by the manufacturers. The manufacturers are putting their skin on it, stuff like this. No, we're coming out with this. This is what it's going to be. If you want to use Android, you're going to use this. You're not going to put a skin on it. You're going to sell your hardware. We're going to run our software. This is the requirements that it needs. This is what it has to have, and that's it. That's that. That's where I feel like Google's like tightening the screws on it. And OEMs are really going to have to decide whether they want to run this new operating system that's coming out, or if they want to keep running the old Google Android, or if they want to still use the old Android but fork it and, of course, make it their own, kind of like Amazon did with the Fire OS. I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of get the feeling that that's where that's going, because just like Samsung. Samsung uses Google, and then Samsung puts their TouchWiz overlay on it. Well, Google's like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to do that, we're going to leave Android out there for you to do that. But if you want to use our new operating system that's more secure, don't have to worry about fragmentation, don't have to worry about security, don't have to worry about the carriers, don't have to worry about if the phone's going to be able to handle it, if you're going to be able to upgrade, if we're going to support it for up to 5 years or even longer, then you want to run this new Fuchsia operating system. That's where I feel it's going to be the benefit. And Google may be like, okay, you can run this, but here's the specs. This is what you have to have to run this new operating system. You cannot skin it. You cannot put any bloatware on it. You cannot let the carriers put any branding, nothing like that on it. And the way you're going to make money is you're going to make money off the hardware. You're going to make money off the hardware and off the features that you put in it. That's highly possible, I think. Let me get a drink of water, guys. I really don't think it's that far-fetched for them to be able to do that. I don't think that, it's that bad for Google to want to finally get control of their operating system. I'm not saying they're gonna do it completely like Apple and be so locked down that you can't do certain things. I think you're still gonna have customization in it. I think you're still gonna be able to, do what you want to it if you want to do that. But I think Google wants to make it more unified. Google wants to make it to where it's more unified and a better user experience, that when you go and you buy a phone from a carrier, you don't have all the bloatware on it. You don't have the AT&T apps, the Verizon apps, the T-Mobile apps, the Sprint apps. You don't have any apps unless you want to download said app. That's what I feel. Guys, and remember, don't be afraid. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. Join in. We can talk about, like I said, we can talk about almost anything within reason. It's not a problem whatsoever. But like I said, that's where I feel that Google is going with this. I feel that Google's like, enough is enough. We're going to tighten it down. We're going to lock it down. We're not going to lock it down all the way, but it's going to be more locked down than what it used to be. Now, if you want to continue to do like you used to do, we still have Android. You can still find manufacturers that's still using Android, but this is more, more like great hardware Nexus stuff, and that's not to say the OEMs can't get the software and say, hey, we want to add this to it. Can you help us? So that way we can differentiate our handset from somebody else's, so that way, you may get a HTC handset and a Huawei handset, and both of them are running Fuchsia OS, but Google allow HTC to put their own little unique perk in it, along with Huawei allow Huawei to put their unique perk in it. And then again, they may not. They might say, no, you need to differentiate yourself with your hardware, with, how big a battery are you putting in it? How good of an LCD are you putting in it? How good are you going to have wireless charging in it? Are you going to have a new technology that hasn't been introduced yet? Are you going to have dual facing speakers in it? Are you going to have it to where it's 3D popping out the screen? There's no telling. Is it going to be super rugged? Is it going to be super elegant? It's whatever you want to do, But I just feel like that's where that is headed. I feel like Google's like, you know what, we're going to fix this. We're going to tighten it down. We're going to do this. pardon me, we're going to do this and everything, and this is what we want y'all to do. We want y'all to follow this example that we set, and fragmentation in Android, a lot of people will say, well, it's not a big deal or what, but when you look at the pie chart and you see that a small percentage is on Nugget, hey, Daily Gaming Unit, how are you, man? Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you're having a blessed day today. We're just sitting here talking about Google's new operating system. Went and seen Guardians of the Galaxy Saturday. That was really good. Just a whole bunch of stuff that's going on that we're kind of going over right now. But like I said, when you look at the pie chart and you see that there is a very slim margin that is on Nougat right now, that's kind of disappointing. I just recently got Nougat on my Android phone, on my Nexus 6. I just recently, and I keep grabbing it and it's upside down, but I just recently got it on this. It's cool. I like it, but there's also the fact that it may not update to the latest and greatest. That it may not get the newest Android 7.1.1. So that's a concern, for me. So maybe with Google coming out with this new Android software, hopefully they're tightening down on it and they're saying, hey, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do it this way. These are the rules that you have to follow. If you still want to use Android Nougat, you can use that. You can use Android, but Fuchsia, you're going to have to follow this to a T. We're going to be really, really strict with this. We're still going to let our users customize. We're still going to let our users do what they want to do to customize their phone and make their phones different. But as far as manufacturers, these are the guidelines that you have to follow. And like I said, it's pretty cool. Let's see what else is going on. Samsung Galaxy Note 8 should be dropping here pretty soon. And I'm thinking by the time it drops, Bixby will be actually working. And you know what Bixby reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of a cross between Google Assistant and the Amazon Fire Phone. Where you could take the Fire Phone and you could hold it in front of an item and it would scan it or get the phone number off of it or whatever. That's kind of what it reminds me of. So I'm kind of anxious to see what features are in the Note 8. I'm pretty sure it's going to look like the S8 or the S8 Plus, just with the S Pen. But again, we're not 100% sure. Also, there's been some renders of the OnePlus 5. Let's see. Have you tried the Google Pixel? Is it better than a Samsung? I have not personally tried a Google Pixel, but here's the thing. I do have a really good friend of mine that has the Google Pixel. And Daily Gaming Unit, here's what you have to ask yourself. Do I like Samsung and their hardware that I'm willing to use TouchWiz, which is an overlay, or do I want a pure Google experience where everything it's like this Nexus device? The software, there's no skin, there's no Samsung apps, there's none of that. It's pure Google. I would say that depends on you. Me personally, I like the design of the S8. I really, really do. I like the design. I like the way that it's not too big in your hand. I like the fact that it feels like holding an iPhone 6S Plus or 7 Plus. Curved screens, it's a beautiful device. Beautiful, beautiful device. TouchWiz is not that overbearing like it used to be. Samsung really went light on the TouchWiz, which is a good thing. It is a good thing, but there's still some issues with Samsung. You know, they sent out patches. They've sent some updates out and stuff like that. But I think there's still a few things like Bixby. Bixby is not working at this point in time. Um, so to me, I would go with the Pixel device personally. The camera's still great on it. Now, yeah, granted, the hardware is not the flashiest or the best looking, but it is going to get the latest and greatest, and it is going to be updated faster than that Samsung Galaxy 8. Now, like I said, the Samsung is a beautiful device. But for me, if I had to choose with my money, I would go with the Pixel because I like stock Android. I like the fact that I know it's going to get all the updates that it needs. I know it's going to get Android 7.2.0, 7.2.1. You know, I know it's going to get all those updates. Now, here's what I will say. If you're looking at buying a phone right now, don't. Don't. The Samsung Galaxy Note 8 is about to drop. The OnePlus 5 is about to drop. The Google Pixel 2 is about to drop. The iPhone 8 is going to drop in around September or October. So, and the HTC U Ultra or whatever they're calling it, the new HTC U is going to drop too. So, that being said, I would hold off on it. You know, I would hold off and wait till all these flagships drop, and then I would look. If you're looking for something that you don't want to drop $800, $900, $1,000 for, I would look at OnePlus. OnePlus runs Oxygen OS. It is a very, very, very light skin over Android. But that being said, OnePlus updates. I mean, it's almost like using stock Android just with a few tweaks on it. It's going to be $449, I believe, unlocked. Very good hardware. Very good from what I've seen from talking to people. Very good customer support. Very good software support. Samsung, you can usually figure you'll get about a year or two out of it. Google Pixel, I figure you can probably get 3 to 4 years out of it. OnePlus, same as the Google Pixel, probably 3, 4 years, give or take. So yeah, I would say hold off. But if I was spending my own money, I would get a Pixel. If I had to choose between a Pixel and a Samsung, I would go with the Pixel. I really would. That to me is a better choice because I like getting the updates. But here's the thing that you got to remember. I have used iOS since the iPhone 3G. That being said, I'm used to turning around and getting an update. If there's a security, if there's anything, I'm updated ASAP with the iPhone. If you want that experience, if you like that experience, then you need to go with a Pixel device or a Nexus device. Just about the same thing. Just about the same thing. I've almost dropped this phone, but I've gotten several updates. Apps update constantly. I get updates all the time. As a matter of fact, I may have an update now. Let's check it and see if we do. Play Store. My apps and games. And let's see if we got it. Yep. I got updates. I got updates for everything. As you can see, or you may not can see, but there's several updates. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 updates. So I just hit update them all, and they're updating. So yeah, that's my opinion. Let's see. Okay, may I ask, do you think that the Pixel can overthrow the brand name of Apple or Samsung? Wow, that's a very good question. If the Pixel 2 comes out, and I'm going to say this, and I mean this with all seriousness, if the Pixel 2 comes out and it has a lot better design than what the first Pixel had, if it has a lot better design, if it has dual stereo speakers, wireless charging, if it has a 4,000 milliamp battery, 6 gigs of RAM, minimum 6 gigs, and like I said, has large storage options. We're talking 128, 256 or more if they can get it in there. And Google markets it really, really well with another stellar camera like they have. Yeah, I think Google could do it. I really do. I think Google could do it. I think one of the things that hurts Google is the fact that they said that they would only support said devices with the latest and greatest OS for 2 years. I think if the Pixel 2, when the Pixel 2 comes out, I think that, hey, C. Kane, how you doing, man, Monstrous Maniac? How you been? Thank you so much for being here and commenting. Hope you're having a great day, having a blessed day. But yeah, I think honestly, I think that, yeah, the Pixel could do it. I think the Pixel could do it. I think one of the things that Android needs to do, that Google needs to do for the Pixel is say, hey, look, we're going to continue to update the software from anywhere from 3 to 5 years. You'll get the latest and greatest. You know, they need to come out, you know, you can pretty much figure that it's going to come out with a 825 processor, 830, whatever. It's going to come out with the latest and greatest processor, but they need to make sure that it has no less than 6 gigs of RAM. They need to make sure that it's got, you know, the NFC, the wireless charging. They need to make sure that it's got the dual front-facing stereo speakers. They need to make sure that it's got Bluetooth 5.0, that it's got the latest and greatest Wi-Fi, so it gets a better Wi-Fi signal, the latest and greatest on the cell phone bands and stuff like that. Hey, man, no problem. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Today, you know, like I said, guys, today is Tech Tuesday. So anything that y'all want to talk about, tech-related, movies, comics, anything, I'm down for it. But yeah, man, I really do. I think if Google positions themselves right, I think they can. Now, here's the interesting thing that, hey, Pineapple, how you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, pound that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. And like I said, we're talking about tech today. So anything that has to do with technology, movies, gaming, phones, computers, stuff like that, hey, man, we're all for it. Let's see. Now, one of the things, like I was saying, Daily, one of the things that I really think is Apple's just really going to have to knock it out of the park this year. I do like Apple. I do use Apple. But even I am like, look, y'all really need to knock it out of the park this year. Because if you're not going to do your best, if you're not going to put your best design out, if you're not going to put the best features, I mean, I pray that it has wireless charging. That is a big thing to me. My Nexus 6 has got wireless charging. And I keep holding it upside down. I don't know why. But it's got wireless charging. I like wireless charging. I like being able to sit it down, walk away, and it charges. I don't have to plug it up. I don't have to do anything. You know, I don't have to do none of that. I sit it down, it charges. Apple, you got to bring your A game. You've got to. If you don't bring your A game, I'm looking at the OnePlus 5. I'm looking at the Pixel 2, and I might even be looking at the Samsung Note, Galaxy Note 8. I may be looking at that. Shoot, I may be looking at the new HTC phone that's going to drop here in a little bit. I like it. I like it a lot. You know, now I do want to send a shout out to Daily Gaming Unit AA, Monstrous Maniac, and Pineapple Geometry Dash for being in here, for hitting me up in the comments. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Keep them questions coming. This is really, really good. Thank you so much, guys. Now, that's that's just really how I feel on that end of it. You know, one thing that I do want to bring up, I know a lot of guys see me wearing the Apple AirPods. I really do like them a lot, but I wanted to let y'all know that if you look online, there are some people. If you don't like the AirPods, there's some called the Bragi, BRAGI dash DASH. DASH. Anyway, go and check them out. What they are is that they're complete wireless like the AirPods, right? But they're smaller and they fit more in your ear. Everybody that's kind of reviewed them, they liked them. I think one of the downsides to it is it does 6 hours of playback music, where these do 5. These do 5, but the carrying case will do. No, wait, I'm sorry. These are 10. These are 10 hours, and the carrying case has a charging capacity for 25 hours. No, I'm sorry, 5. That's right, 5. Okay, it's 5 hours, because if I use them consistently for 5 hours, then they will. I have to charge them at lunch, and then they'll last 5 more hours. But just like these, where it has the hold on 1 minute, where it has the little case that comes with it. The Bragi also have a case that comes with it, and I believe it'll also charge them. It holds a charge in it also. So if you don't like the AirPods, and you do use Android or something else, you can definitely check those out, and they will help. Daily gaming unit. Can I ask you something crazy? Sure. Go ahead, man. Ask away. The only thing I'll say is no, depending on what you ask. But yeah, go ahead and ask. Whew. Allows me a chance to get a drink of water. But yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, man. I'm waiting on your question right now. Oh, where'd it? While I'm waiting on your question, hold on, guys. I'm going to get a mint. Wait, that's not them. Is that? Wait. Is that them? Yeah, that's them. Ooh, I love them Altoid cinnamon mints. Oh man, and guys, if you get a chance, check out Daily Gaming Unit's video. Check him out. Check out AA's video and Monstrous Maniac. Check them out, guys. Pineapple, I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but guys, check him out. If he's got a YouTube channel, subscribe to him. I know he'd really, really appreciate it. But yeah, Daily, you're more than welcome to ask me what it is. I'm just kind of waiting on you. Oh man. But yeah, there's just so much going on right now that let's see. Okay. Daily Gaming Unit. We learned that Venus's atmosphere melts any of our tech to get video or even pics of the surface when we make something that will survive on the planet. Oh yeah, of course. You know, to put this kind of in perspective, back in the 1960s during the space race, when JFK was talking about we're going to send a man to the moon and everything, at that point in time, they really didn't know what to expect from the moon. May not have been 100% sure about the Earth's, atmosphere, about how many degrees it burned and stuff like that. And yet we sent a man to the moon. Now we're doing regular missions. Now we're sending people up to the space station. to stay up there for extended periods of time. I think the major thing of finding out uh, what tech is going to be used to drop on Venus or to get pictures of Venus is to find out what chemicals make up the atmosphere of Venus. Like what temperature, how hot is it? How are we going to be able to keep this tech in there? It may be one of the things that you have a satellite that orbits around Venus, but then when it gets to a certain point above Venus, there's this like a giant marble, and this marble is like coated with heat resistant layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of heat resistant material. But inside that cocoon like ball is a rover, like a Mars rover or whatever. And they're able okay, when the ball gets in there, and it starts feeling the heat, when it starts feeling the heat, it triggers a timer. Well, on that timer says, okay, we sense the heat, it senses the heat, and as soon as it gets out of that atmosphere and it starts cooling off, then that starts another timer, and that timer says, okay, we should be falling, all right, and we're gonna crack open, so it busts open, the drone pops out, and it's got a parachute or whatever on it. It pops out, and then it scans or flies or does whatever it needs to do to take pictures, to get atmospheric samples and stuff like that. Yeah, I definitely think that we will eventually have the tech to visit each and every planet. Now, obviously, some planets are a gas planet. There may not be any solid ground on that planet. But, it's not to say that we wouldn't have the tech to fly a drone or have a drone on it or something like that, with the satellite, because you got to think the satellite's still going to be orbiting the planet. So then it would beam all that information. It would beam all the information that it gets off of Venus up to the satellite, and then the satellite beams all that information back here to Earth. So yeah, I honestly think we'll have the tech to make something that would survive on the planet, for the planet Venus. I mean, look at Mars. Look at how much information they've gotten off the Mars rover, since they put it on Mars. One of the things that they found out, is, okay, it's corroding. This is wearing out the tracks. This is doing this. So we need to make the tracks more sturdier, out of a better material, because of the wind and everything, because there's no trees on there. It's kind of like when you go out to the lake, right, and you're on a boat, and you're sitting on the boat, and when you're on the boat, you feel it's like every breeze that comes your way just hits you. But then as soon as you get on land and all the trees and everything are there, that you don't really feel the breeze. You're like, man, it was windy out there on the water, and now I don't feel nothing. It's like that on Mars. There are no trees to block the wind that's coming through there. So just like they developed technology, just like that, just like they did that, just like they are continuing to improve on the technology that they sent to Mars, we'll hopefully we'll be able to do the same with Venus, which will hopefully be short. I would figure Venus. Man, I would figure Venus. I would do a drone. I mean, seriously, I would do like a GoPro, or a flying drone that's able to go through, and scout the atmosphere and stuff like that, rather than like the Mars rover. I would do a flying drone that's purely autonomous. That's just me though. That's what I would think would happen. I think it'd be really cool too. Um, I really do. I think I'm more excited though is that hmm, hold on guys. Whew. Um, I think I'm more excited though for the fact that we are getting closer, like we talked last time. We're getting closer to building better spaceships, better spacecraft, better means of travel. Um, I think we're getting a lot closer to that than what people realize. You know, there's breakthroughs coming every day. Every day there's breakthroughs coming. You know that people are always coming up with some new way, with some engineering that we may not have thought about. You know, it's just purely amazing to me that we're coming so far in such a short period of time. You know, you can go on YouTube and look at what life was like in the 1800s, 1900s, even the 20th century, and it's like as soon as we hit um 19 what is that 1980 88 89 when home computers started getting real big, then all of a sudden it was like boom, it's just this explosion of just everything was at your fingertips. You was able to talk to somebody in Japan who was working on a new form of combustible engine, and the guy that was working on the new form of combustible engine was able to talk to somebody that was developing a new mode of transportation that could utilize that new form of combustible energy engine. You know, it's just amazing. And to put it in perspective, you now have, you know, back in the 60s and 70s, if you had 200 horsepower, you was wow, that was awesome. You know, that you had 200 horsepower. Do you realize that we have four-cylinder motors that now have 200, 300 horsepower? Let's see, David gave a unit. Do you think the moon landing was fake, just a claim that we won the space race? We talked about this in class today. No, no, I do not think it was fake. I do not think that it was faked in any shape, form, or possibility. Um, the reason I think that is because we now currently have people that are going to the moon, you know, and that, you know, there's evidence and stuff like that of them being there. So no, I don't I don't think it was fake. I don't think the moon landing was fake at all. I think part of that was people could not believe because it was something that they could not imagine of us going to the moon. It was like it's like us right now saying that we're gonna go to another galaxy. You know, that we're gonna leave the Milky Way and we're gonna go 100 light years to this other planet that's an Earth-like planet that's habitable. You know, um, I think I think that was part of it. Is that it was just something that was so hard for people to believe, for so hard for people to say, "Wow, you mean we really did that? You mean we really, really did that?" You know, and now look at us. We're talking about colonizing the moon, putting bases on the moon. I mean, if if the moon landing, if the 1960s moon landing was fake, why would we even be talking about putting bases on the moon? Why would we even be talking about putting colonies up there? You know, why would there be evidence that somebody was there? You know, why would we even have a space station? You know, why are we sending probes to Mars? Why are we? You see what I'm saying? You had to have something that got the dominoes rolling. You know, we did the rocket technology. We did the design of the spacecraft. We did the launching and the reentry. We did we did all of this. You know, um, without going up there and doing that and making that technology and seeing that they had gone into orbit, into space, would nothing that we are doing right now even be possible? You know, that's the thing about it. You know, so it's a domino effect. You know, if it was planned or if it was fake, you know, I just don't see it. I really don't. And one of the other reasons that I don't see it is because, you know, okay, you had a rocket ship that could go into outer space. Well, now that allowed you to develop missiles that could be shot from the United States all the way over to the other side of the world, you know, and never have to worry about leaving the United States or whatever, you know, intercontinental warfare and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. I just find it hard to believe that it was fake. I really do. I really do. But I mean, hey, you know, some people out there say that there's evidence for it. Me myself, not so much. But that's cool that y'all talked about that in class today. That's really awesome that y'all did discuss that. You know, because it's important to hear all sides before you just write it off as being fake or, you know, not being real or whatever. But to me personally, I feel like that the evidence is there for them to actually have been there on the moon. That's me. Oh, I need to be a teacher? Oh, I don't know about that. um, I don't know. I don't know if I could be a teacher. I don't know. I might could do history. I like history. I do like history a lot. But I don't know. I might could do science, maybe. I don't know, but science is kind of stretching it. I could do like third grade science or something, you know, like mixing vinegar and something else together and making a little volcano, you know, vinegar and baking powder, baking soda, and, you know, making the little volcano where it goes, you know, and the lava spews out. Yeah, add a little red food coloring, you know, put some G.I. Joes down there. Oh no, yeah, maybe. I don't know. mm. But yeah, so like I was saying, that's just my take on it. That's that's just my opinion on it. And like I said, you know, anytime you want to find out something, it's always good. It's always good to look at it, and don't just look at what you think is right in your opinion. Look at all sides of it, so that way you can say, okay, yeah, this is. I see where the evidence is for this to be right, and I see where this is, you know, gonna be more along the lines because the evidence is here to support this. You know, um, sometimes you hear people say, "Well, I don't like that." Well, why do you not like it? Well, I just don't like it. Okay, why? Why do you not? There's got to be a reason why you don't like it. It can't be just because you don't like it. You know, you have people like I will say I don't like Google Assistant as much as I like Siri. You know, and people will say, "Oh, okay," and people will say, "Well, why do you not like Assistant?" I don't like Google Assistant because when I ask it to read me my notifications, it cannot read me my notifications. And then people are like, well, why do you like Siri? Well, I like Siri because Siri understands me and will read me my notification. And then they'll say, well, what do you like about the Google? I like the Google Assistant because the Google Assistant will give me more information that I ask about, you know. And then they'll say, okay, well, what about Siri? And I'll say, well, what I like about Siri It's the fact that if I ask Siri, something like read me a poem or tell me a bedtime story or something like that, she'll do it. You know, there's different things. Like Siri has a better way of understanding me, and Google Assistant's like, yeah, I didn't really catch that. Is this what you wanted? And it's like, no, that's not what I wanted. So that's what I'm saying. Try to get the facts on all things, on all opinions. Hear opinions from all sides. You know, um, when I used to read like Norse mythology, Roman mythology, Greek mythology, um, supernatural. That's stuff that I like. Um, and that's when I was like, okay, I see this is not so much. And then when I turn to Christianity, it's like, okay, this is I chose Christianity because it was right for me. But I still like reading uh about the Romans. I still like reading about the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Assyrians, the Greeks, uh, the Goths, the Visigoths, the English, uh, the Celts, the Irish, the Scottish, the Mongolians, the Chinese from the Chinese when they were split into different states, with the states of Wei, the states of Qi, the state of, oh man, there were so many different states. Ancient Japan. I loved reading about the Tokugawa, the three songbirds. Love reading about that. Love reading about that. I like it. I like that stuff a lot. Even you get into the Monkey King. You get into Buddha. You get into the Indian nation. What happened in India and how like the history of martial arts. Bodhidharma coming over to China and visiting the monks and seeing that. I mean, that stuff is just really, really cool. So you have to get, before you can just, you only read Goosebumps as a kid, but that's okay. I like Goosebumps. I've actually read some of those books, and they were actually really, really good. I enjoyed them, and I watched the movie with Jack Black. So hey, who's your nerd? You know what I'm saying? Who's your nerd? But that's what I'm saying. It's always good to read. You're never too late to read this stuff. If you're interested in something, whether it's tech, movies, gaming, comic books, computers, history, mathematics, whatever you're interested in, whatever you like, then read it. Go out there and read it. Go out there and look at it. Study it. Paleontology. I like paleontology. I like dinosaurs. I like ancient people, Indians, the Apaches, the Choctaws, Chippewas, Blackfoot. Oh man, there's just the Clovis people. There's so much out there, and it's all out. It's all at our fingertips. Back like I was saying, back in the 1800s and 1900s, before computers, you had to go to the library and you had to read a book. Now I type it in. And I watch either a YouTube video on it, or I read an article online about it, or I use the Kindle app and I read a book on it. It's so easy. There's so much out there. The only limitation is you. The only limitation is what you have time for. That's what I'm saying. There's so much out there that you can study that's there. That's wow. I mean, look at Socrates, Plato, Aesop. There's so many philosophies, so many. Oh man, there's so much stuff out there that to read and absorb and research that is just really, really cool, man. Really cool. Like I said, take the time to read that. I don't know what grade you're in, Daily, but there's a lot of stuff out there. You can even go to your school library and check out some of the stuff that I'm talking about and read up on it. Read about Genghis Khan. Read about Attila the Hun. Read about Augustus Caesar. Read about let's see, what's his name? Cornwall Wallace. Read about the Celts. Read about Norse mythology. Where how they come up with Thor and Loki and just wow, Hera and just all these. Read the Greek mythology, Jupiter. Let's see. Oh man, there is so much, so much out there. Roman mythology. Hades. Yeah, man. So ninth grade, check that, dude. Check that stuff out. Dude, there is so much, and what a lot of people don't know, is when Rome went in and conquered a civilization, they basically adopted their customs. So when the Romans went and conquered the Greeks, Jupiter, who was the king of the god for the Greeks, became Zeus, who was the Roman king of the god. So they basically said, oh, well, Zeus, Jupiter, same thing, but we call him Zeus. Man, you had so many. Do you know that they dang near had a god for everything? A god, I mean, if the wind blew, they had a god for that. They had a god for war. They had a god for crops. They had a god for fertility. They had a god for the dead. They had, what was that? Hades, was their underworld. Oh man, Poseidon, god of the sea. They had all these different gods for all these different things that nowadays we're like, okay, yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, that's the wind. It comes from here, and there's an air current, and this is what it does. But it's just, when you read that stuff, you really get to appreciate, and you get to see what they were thinking, because they had a hard time kind of explaining where that stuff come from, trying to explain what they didn't see or what they didn't know. The Egyptians had Horus. Oh Lord, man. What is that? What is the other one that they had? They had Horus, and then they had another one for the dead, Anubis. I mean, man, dude, if you get a chance, go to your school library and check this stuff out. Because yeah, the Egyptian stuff was totally crazy. And here, talking about tech and talking about everything, here's what's going to blow your mind. Did you know that the Egyptian pyramids, that some of the stones were so close together that you couldn't put one strand, that you could not put one strand of hair between the two stones? Like one strand of hair would not go between those two stones. Now, here's the crazy part. They did that without a computer. They did it without a bulldozer. They did it without a crane. They did it without all these mechanical things that we nowadays have. They didn't have a computer. They didn't have a calculator. They had algebra, because they invented algebra. They had algebra, a plumb line, and pulleys and animals and slave labor and stuff like that to make the pyramids. And the material, the rocks, the stone that was used to make the pyramids, they shipped them on the Nile River, and then unloaded them off the boat, and then put them where they wanted to be. So I mean that's just crazy to me because you think about that, and these are ancient people that didn't, that didn't have the same tools and the same knowledge that we had, but were better because they used less. But look what they did. Tell me, have you seen if you look at the ancient world and you look at the pyramids, you look at the Roman Colosseum, you look at some of the infrastructures that were made by the Chinese, the English, stuff like that. These are things that have stood. These are monuments that have stood centuries, 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 and they're still here. You know, Babylon. Look at Babylon. The Ishtar Gate. It's still. Well, I think it's still there. I pray it's still there. Because there's so much history that over there during the war with ISIS and everything, they destroyed a lot of it. But that stuff had been there for several thousands of years. Look at the Temple Mount. Look at the wall. Look at the wall that was part of the temple from back in King David's time, from Solomon's time. That is still there. So that's a testament. How if you look around in America, how many structures can you say have been here for that many centuries? How many structures could you say would be here for that many centuries? That's the stuff, that's the technology, that's the stuff that just blows my mind. That's the stuff. I mean, we find swords from the Vikings, we find swords from the Celts, we find swords from the English, the Japanese, the Chinese, that was made by people so many thousands of years ago. I mean, I don't even think thousands of years from now, you would be able to find anything worthwhile that we made. I mean, granted, all our data and everything will be saved on, it'll be backed up, it'll be online and stuff. It'll be really, really awesome. Okay, that's crazy. Just like it's a mystery about the Easter Island statues and how they did it with their tech. Exactly. Who carved them? Who carved them? Who set them up like that? And they were actually a lot taller than what we see. We only see part of it. The other half of it is in the ground. And it's just amazing how ancient people did this. Do you know there's still roads in Rome that the Romans built that people use today? That's crazy. That is crazy to think that there's still roads in Rome that the Romans built that people still use. I mean, it's nuts. Do you know they had apartments back in ancient Rome? You can look at Pompeii. Look up some of the stuff at Pompeii and look at the architecture. Look at the buildings that's there. Look at the design of it. Everything for them had a purpose. Look at the aqueducts. The aqueducts they're still using to this day. That, man, that was top-notch technology back then to be able to get water from a mountain to go all the way to Rome. We're talking this mountain's like, good Lord, however many miles away, and you're pulling water all the way from it, all the way back to Rome, so that Rome, which had probably 1 million or more citizens or whatever, had several thousands of people living in it. We're all getting fresh water. That's nuts, dude. That's nuts. Oh, that's nuts. Guys, do y'all have anything else? Anything else we want to talk about? We've been talking so long. Man, this discussion has been just great. But yeah, man, there's just so much technology, and that's what I said. I think as far as technology goes, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for there to be one assistant, and I'm waiting on there for us to get the Star Wars / Star Trek technology. The spaceships, the lightsabers, the laser guns, the tractor beams, just all these cool things. Oh man. I'm ready for it. Oh, I'm ready for it. Um, because I think in some aspects, if ancient people were to see what we have now, I think at the first time they seen it, they would be really, really impressed. They'd be like, "Wow!" It would just blow their mind. And then after they got used to it, they'd be like, "Y'all, this ain't wow. Okay, this is y'all ain't doing it right." And y'all want to know how this lasted this long? This is what we did. And I think it would really open up some doors. That's what I'm saying. You know, when the library in Alexandria burnt, we lost so much history, so much technology, and it's not up until now that we're really able to recover some of that technology that was lost. You know, um, and that's a shame that it took that expanse of time to really get to where you know we were back then. And that's just crazy. That is so crazy. You know, to think that we had all that information there and it was just like, it was burn up. You know, um, it's I don't know, and that's not even warfare. We were talking about warfare at work, and back then warfare was such a more personal thing, because they didn't have the technology like we have. Now you got a guy that sits behind the screen and flies an aircraft and shoots a missile. You know, back then, you had a dude that might have been 2 feet away from you, uh, chunking a spear, you know, or something like that. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me to think how far we've come along in our short time and in our technological walk, so to speak. Mm. But yeah, I mean, even like your cooking tech and stuff has gotten, man, so much has changed, you know, and it's going to continue to change. Uh, just like for some of you guys, you're still in school, and for those of you that are not in school, we think back and we think, wow, man, I can remember when we used to cook this like this, or we used to do this like this, and now it's like, oh, well, I'll just throw it in here and it's ready in like 10 minutes. You know, that's, that's just nuts. That's just nuts to me. I don't know, you know. Um, but yeah, like I said, kind of getting back on track a little bit. Um, would I? I always ask myself this question: would I or would I not switch to Android from iOS? And it just depends. It just depends what Apple puts out. If I don't like the iPhone 8, if I do not like the look of the iPhone 8, then yeah, I'd switch. Um, and I would get me an Android Wear smartwatch, most definitely. I'm so used to wearing a smartwatch that I would have to get another Android Wear smartwatch. I think it. I think it's a necessity for me. But yeah, I would switch. But I would probably do. I would probably do an updated phone. This Pixel's really really nice. It's still working really really good. The battery in it's stellar. As a matter of fact, I got 50% and it's just kind of being on standby. And I put Nova Launcher on it, so I do like that. But yeah, I don't really have a problem switching to Android. My biggest problem with Android is just the updates. But that's where I think I would look at a Google Pixel device. I really, really would. And that's something, with being on Project Fi, with my Nexus 6. Um, if they would do unlimited data on the Project 5, that would be another good, compelling argument for me to switch to the Pixel full time. You know, because Google Fi is really good. I get great service everywhere I go because it switches between U.S. Cellular, T-Mobile, and Sprint, and I think there was another carrier, but that's the three that's off the top of my mind. And it connects to Wi-Fi automatically if I need to make a phone call or whatever, and I don't have service. I do like that. I just wish that they had unlimited data with it. I would gladly pay. I would gladly pay $50 a month, $55 a month for unlimited data with the Google Pixel if they offered it. That's awesome. Currently, I'm using Cricket Wireless, which is doing good. It's doing good. I just wish that I had Wi-Fi calling. And out there at work sometimes, when I'm in the office, it won't pick up the signal. But I know that Wi-Fi calling is coming, and not only is Wi-Fi calling coming, but it's also getting voice over LTE. So I'm really happy about that. I just can't wait for the update. But that would be real compelling to me, because if iPhone 8 doesn't come out stellar, if it doesn't have the things that I like, then yeah, if Google Pixel were to come out with unlimited data and everything, yeah, I don't have a problem switching, not at all. Let's see. Well, guys, do y'all have anything else that we want to talk about tonight? Is there anything on your mind that you want to talk about, that you want to ask me? Again, shout out to Pineapple Geometry Dash. Shout out to AA. Shout out to Monstrous Maniac. Thank you guys so much. Again, feel free to join in. Feel free to comment. Because the more comments I get, the more interaction I get, the more I talk, and the more we can discuss about technology and stuff like that, which is what I really, really like. So yeah, normally if I'm not getting like a flood of comments or anything, then I'll start narrowing down the stream time. But I'm going to leave it open just for a few minutes. If there's anything that you guys want to ask me, if there's anything that you guys want to talk about, hit me up in the comments, man. It's not that hard. It's just a little clickety clack on the keyboards. That's all it is. Oh, okay, Daily Gaming. Nope, you blew away my mind. Hey, man, thank you. I really, really appreciate that. I don't know. I don't know exactly why I'm blowing your mind, but it's just stuff, stuff that I've read, stuff that I've gotten into over the years, stuff that, man, I just have an interest in, Oh, and let me know, guys, one more thing. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of this style. I know last time one of the guys said that he wanted me to do more of this style interaction with you guys. If that's the case, then I'd be more than happy to do it. I just need more people to let me know that this is the style that you want me to do. I already have one person that said yes, he did want me to do this style more often. But I always value more opinions. I have moved up. Thank you. Shout out to all of my 81 subscribers. That was the last count that I got last time. So I have moved up, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you for watching my live streams, for watching my gaming videos, for watching me just cut up and do everything that I do. Christian, Cucalon, salute from Ecuador. Hey, man, thank you so much, Christian. Is there anything that you want to talk about, or anything that you would like to know, maybe about me or about any questions, that you want to talk about as far as like Google, Android, Microsoft, Windows, Mac, movies, Star Trek, Star Wars, X-Men, Ghostbusters, anything like that, I am here to talk about it. And man, shout out to you all the way from Ecuador. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, pound that subscribe button. I really, really appreciate it. Oh, and like I was telling you guys, I did go out and see Guardians of the Galaxy. It was really, really awesome. And there is just some stuff in there, tech-wise, that I just thought was awesome. Just awesome, awesome, awesome. You know, sometimes they dramatize the tech or whatever, to make it, part of the story, make it part appealing and everything. But there's just things in there that is really, really awesome that I think that we could have one day. I'm not going to give any spoilers away because that may ruin the movie for you, so I'm not going to do that. We're going to keep it spoiler free. But that, there's just some stuff in there that I thought was really, really cool. That was just interesting. I did see that Microsoft come out with a new Surface Pro laptop. But it's kind of light. It's like Microsoft Light, It's very, very thin, very, very light. And it looks like it's going to compete with the Google Chromebook. Now, I think I've said that before on here, that it seems like Microsoft is reinventing itself, that Microsoft has said, okay, you know what, we need to tighten down on our products. We need to tighten down on our ecosystem and make sure that everything comes together, that everything is able to come together, that everything is going to work with each other and work well. Did you know that they finally gave the antivirus that Microsoft makes a passing grade? That was pretty amazing to me, because for so long, everybody was like, man, you don't use Windows Defender. Windows Defender, no. You go over here, you get this McAfee, you get this Norton. You had to buy a third party. Now they're saying, hey, Windows Defender, it's good. You can use that. It's like, wow. So I see Microsoft is kind of tightening down on their. Now they still got Windows. They'll still produce Windows for everybody else to use, for the Dells, for the HPs, for the Asuses, and stuff like that. They'll still use Windows. They'll still produce Windows. But it seems like Microsoft is pulling an Apple and getting their ecosystem together. They're finally getting it to where all of their stuff is going to work together. The Xbox is going to work with the PC. The PC is going to work with their Surface Pro laptop. Yo, Wolfizer, 48 subs. Hey, way to go, man. Way to go. Way to go, man. Congrats for Wolfizer. Man, that is awesome. Awesome. But yeah, it really looks like that Windows is finally bringing their ecosystem together and trying to bring it to the level that Apple has. And I say Apple, but that's because Apple's ecosystem is really second to none. And a lot of OEMs are finally starting to take notice that it is about the ecosystem and not about just individual products. What good is a phone if your phone will not work with your PC? What good is a PC if your PC will not integrate with the other tech that is around you in your house? I think the way that Google does stuff is really, really interesting, because you take the Chromecast. They got a Chromecast and they got a Chromecast audio. And it's really, really interesting that they chose to go that route. And the reason that they chose to go that route was so that they could keep costs down and be able to sell you a Chromecast for $30, $35, and you'd be able to just flick anything that you want to watch to the TV. That's cool. But I think if I wanted to pick up something Android related, Google related that will work, I would get the NVIDIA Shield. That is what I would look at. I would look at the NVIDIA Shield. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, it's going to cost you more money. But it's a gaming machine. It's an internet machine. Any app that you have on your phone, you can install on that NVIDIA Shield. You can use the apps that are on the gaming apps that are on your phone. You can play them on that NVIDIA Shield. You can also stream Netflix, stream Hulu, stream PlayStation View, stream Sling TV, stream Kodi. You can put Kodi on it. You can do all of that. You know, I mean, so it's just something to think about. It really, really is. But keep your eyes open, guys. Keep your eyes open on Microsoft. Watch what they do in the next few years. I think we're going to be really, really surprised to see Microsoft come out and just come out swinging. But that's with any tech company. But like I said, guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Shout outs to you guys. Hey, I found a way to get more subs. I went up to 20 just this week. Just be friendly to everyone and support other people, and they will help you back. That's right. That's completely right, Daily. Now me, I do not mind. I do not mind if y'all come here. If y'all want me to shout out your YouTube channel, no problem. I will shout it out. Wolf Pfizer's got a YouTube channel. Daily Gaming Unit's got a YouTube channel. AA's got a YouTube channel. Monstrous Maniac, I believe he's got a YouTube channel. Pineapple Geometry, I don't know, but he may have a YouTube channel. But go and check these guys out. Christian, I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but if you do, shout out to you. But I don't mind shouting out you guys, y'all's YouTube channel. If you do great content and making great videos, I don't mind subscribing. I don't mind doing any of that. But I would rather you guys spread my channel. I don't necessarily want to go on other people's channel and be like, hey, watch my channel, we'll do this. I want you to come and check me out. Come in, hey man, sub for sub, do this, do that, do this, do that. Yeah, that's not a problem. That's not a problem, Daily. Link away, man. And that's all of y'all. If y'all want to link my channel to your channel, that's great. I really appreciate it. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna throw myself out there and just put myself on every channel that I come across. I feel like that if you guys like me and you enjoy my content and you enjoy what I talk about and you enjoy my antics and stuff, then that speaks for itself, that you're coming here on your own and you're commenting and you're watching and you're giving me a thumbs up and you're giving me that subscribe and you're saying, hey, I really like this, or hey, can we talk about this, or hey, can you do this next time? That to me is awesome. And I'll let you guys put my name out there. If you got friends and stuff, hey man, come and watch this dude. He talks about any and everything, you know, or I really like, he's not the greatest gamer, but he has fun, you know. That's what I appreciate. That means more to me, the word of mouth. That means more to me than me just trying to pimp myself out, you know, by just spamming everybody's channel of, hey man, look at me, check me, da 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 da. So that right there means a lot to me. It really, really does. Yeah, it is. To get true subscribers, it is a grind, and I don't mind the grind. I really don't. Because it's more, to me, it's more about character and what you say and what you do than it is just spamming. You know, it's so much better for me to be sincere and be real to you guys, because who you see on this screen is me every day. This is everyday me. This is everyday life. This is 100% real. It does not get any more real than this unless we met in person. So yeah, that's really what I appreciate is that people appreciate my commentary, that y'all appreciate the subjects that I talk about and the gaming and stuff like that that I do. So with that being said, I want to thank all you guys for watching, all you guys that are gonna watch, all you guys that continue to support me and will support me in the future. Thank you so much, guys. As always. Ooh, hold on. Uh, as always, this is your boy. Oh, there we go. As always, this is your boy Subzerojray saying thank you. Peace. Have a blessed night. I pray that y'all have a great day. And join me tomorrow as we stream again. Thank you so much, guys. Have a blessed night. I'll talk to you later.